Some programming languages use constants, which are variables that are initialized at the beginning of a program and never changed. Which of the following are good uses for a constant? So let's go through each of these statements one by one. First statement says to represent the mathematical value pi as 3.14. This would be a good use for a constant because the mathematical value of pi, it's a known value that you can initialize at the beginning of the program, and the value of pi doesn't change. So that means this variable, this constant, would not need to be changed after it has been initialized at the beginning of the program. So using constants to represent known mathematical values like pi is a good use for a constant. The second statement says to represent the current score in a game. This would be a bad use of a constant because a constant wants to be initialized at the beginning of the program and never changed afterwards. But the current score in a game changes as either team scores points. So that means that as the game goes on, the score will keep changing, which requires that the constant keep changing. And we don't want constants that are changing. We want them to be never changed. So using constants to represent something that is dynamic, something that is changing with time, is a bad use for a constant. So the second statement is not a good use for a constant. The third statement says to represent a known value, such as the number of days in a week. So this is a known value, as it says right here, and we all know that the number of days in a week will always be 7. That's not going to change. So that means that if we have a constant that records this, like say num underscore days, in the beginning of the program, we can just set it equal to 7. And that's it. It's a 7 semicolon. And that's the end of the line. We just set the variable, the constant num day equal to 7, and it doesn't need to change ever again because the number of days in a week isn't going to change. So this would be a good use for a constant, representing a known value that's not going to change. So that means 1 and 3 are good uses for constants. So B is the correct answer.